This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, good morning, good evening. Yeah, hi, good morning, good evening to everyone, guys. So let us get started. So we talked about like from local environment, we know like how to talk to database application, which means we asked for ChatGPT to generate a code through which we can talk to what database, and once we could able to interact, right, we could able to pull the data from the specified table. I think we have done that, right? To do that, we just followed step-by-step operations. One, create a generic question and ask that question to ChatGPT and see what it produced. We have seen that, right? First, it is imported a module, then followed by multiple database related functions like connect, execute, all that we have seen it. Yeah, that's a generic thing. And then we have also seen specific to what Oracle also, right? So in that, we have just seen the difference between generic and specific to Oracle is what connect function with appropriate arguments. It took what username, password, and DSN. These three arguments expected by connect method, right? Yes or no? Now, after that, we have also seen do we have any way to connect to the database without specifying DSN? We don't have it. Instead, it was showing only DSN. So then how do you resolve that? We could able to create a DSN separately, one from operating system and second, within a code itself. These are the two ways, right? So now what we need to do, we need to avoid doing the things as much as we could outside. So our goal is what? To reduce what we call manual operations. In case if you already have any automated way of doing it, we could, or else we can go with what? Manual way. So we have tried that. So there is a function called make DSN through which we could able to create a DSN within the code itself by supplying username, password, and database. In Oracle, we all know that if you have these three things, we could able to connect. Apart from that, in case if you are using other than default port number, then we can also supply an option argument which we call this port number. Yeah. So these first three inputs are mandatory, like username, password, and connection string, or let's say host name. Yeah. Then another way to connect to Oracle is what? We can also supply these parameters, what we call, with many consolidated inputs like protocol, HTTP, HTTPS, then type of connection that we use, JDBC, ODBC, or native, whatever, right? So we can supply JDBC colon thin dot driver colon localhost or host name colon 1521 slash database name. So this also we can supply as input within a code through which we could able to talk to Oracle database. So there are multiple ways to talk to what? Database. So one option we tried for Oracle, which is make DSN function, which takes what? Three arguments. We have seen that. After that, the rest of the functions are same, like a connect, then execute SQL. Yeah, that's it. So Oracle we have done, right? But we have not executed that within our environment because I have not installed Oracle database in my local system. But at least we need to try one, right? For that, what we did was, so we have just installed MySQL in our local system. After that, we started MySQL server and we could able to log on to this MySQL from command line. So this, I think we have already seen that. So after that, we asked ChatGPT to create the code through which we can establish connectivity with MySQL server. So the code is more or less similar to Oracle database, except that connect function arguments are different from Oracle. We don't care like what it takes. What we care here is what need to be supplied from the user. That's what is a key thing in ChatGPT. Remember that, yeah? Because now we are trying to focus on what? Codeless work and humanless work. Human, we are just performing here just to supply the input. Yeah? The rest all will be taken care by humanoid, which is chatbot, which is through ChatGPT. That's what we are doing, right? So that's it. Yeah. So then we have just asked for that question to connect to MySQL. In that, we have also asked for create one schema for one table, insert sample data, then retrieve that data so that we can able to see from MySQL. Same thing, we have done it and we could able to see the result as a result of MySQL query. Yes or no? Yeah. So that's it. So this part also we talked about it. Now the question, this is like what? Elementary way of doing the coding, right? Like a beginners, they start performing hard coding things. Yeah. So we started off doing understanding in elementary way. After that, we extended this particular code to what? In a better way. So what is that better way that we have chosen? Can we supply the arguments as input to this Python code so that we could able to get the desired output? We have done it, which is what? Through argument, right? We all know that. argc, argv, right? So using which we could able to supply input from the user and we got the response in the target table, which is in relevant database. Yeah? Input what we supplied, host name, then database name, username, and password. Four inputs, right? For that we could able to get the result. Yeah. Now the question again, that is going to be next level of what I call understanding. Is it going to be the better way in reality? If you try to build any solution, answer is no. So how do you make it in a better way? So for that, what we have chosen, we have just gone, what we have used, what? Parameterized, or supplying values to four input parameters at runtime from a flat file rather than what? Supplying inputs manually from the command line. So that also we tried. We asked ChatGPT extend the code, what we call instead of through command line with a flat file. It is generated. We have just executed it by creating one sample file. And sample file would take what? Key value pairs or name value pairs. We followed that particular syntax within a flat file. We separate four parameters and corresponding values. Now the question, where do you get these parameter names? These names should be constant, guys. So we should be obtained from the Python code. That's what we did. We just copied those parameters and values we supply. That's it. As a result of it, we could able to see the effect of it in the target table from the backend. We have seen that. So that's it, guys. This is how one can start understanding incremental way, guys. That's over. So likewise, you can also extend this to what? XML. So where that is the best way in order to avoid migration issues from one platform to other platform. For example, if you have, I think you would have experienced, if you try to copy the file from Windows to what? Unix, like Red Hat Linux, Solaris, or AX, whatever, right? To do that, by default, they would add what? They, in the sense, Unix flavors, they would add what? Carets at the end. That will create a problem while reading the data from Python code. To avoid that, we can go with what? So, which is unified format that we call XML. Yeah, XML, it is uniform across all the platforms. So we don't get to see any migration issues. That's it. So that I think we have just seen that code, but we have not executed it. That you guys can try it out. In case if you get stuck with something, let me know so that I'll try to show an example. Anyway, we are going to talk about data warehousing stuff, right? During that time, we are going to perform some real-time data integration operations. Yeah. So that time, anyway, I'm going to talk with XML as input to achieve what? Real-time data integration. Yeah. But prior to that, you can make a try. If you get it, it's okay. If not, it's also it's okay. I'll be covering it when we talk about with ETL. Yeah. So that's one part of warehousing, right? Warehousing tool, right? So we'll talk about that over there. Yeah. So that's it, guys. So that's about Python stuff. Python has got very vast thing, guys. So for example, how do you perform web scraping? How do you perform debugging a code? Yeah. So debugging, probably I'll try to show an example because we have not seen that. Let us see that, because what kind of issues that could be considered as what? erroneous issues in the context of Python. Produce buggy code and supply buggy code as input to this ChatGPT and see whether it's going to get fixed or not. Let us take the code which is already generated. Let us start from that, or let us create a code. Let's write a Python script to perform some mathematical perform sample mathematical operation. I'm just asking for general question, guys, because our expectation is what? One, to identify issues. Second, to get it fixed or to get it troubleshooted. That is our goal. A code could be anything, right? That is why I'm trying to supply generic question to this chat GPT. Remember, guys, depending upon what you are doing, right? So we can just focus on appropriate input text. Remember this, yeah? So we should not work blindly with ChatGPT. Remember this. Like for example, if you go with what tool, so someone will say something in design document, whatever, right? We blindly follow in a tool to just build a mapping, whatever. But it's not the case in ChatGPT. So here we need to apply some intelligence. So it has done some operations, guys, some functions, arithmetic functions, whatever. That's fine. Simple functional programming. Now let us try to, we'll ask for, so insert what errors to, let us see whether it's going to insert or not. Insert syntax errors. I'll put syntax errors to our code. Yeah. So before that, let us try to execute this code and see whether we are going to get the result or not. Because first thing we need to make sure that this is not a buggy code, right? Yes or no? Let us try getting it confirmed. Okay. So let's go to that location. Yes, we are here. Now we can just apply Python and target. Yeah, let's create a file. We already have it, right? Okay. Now let us get the sample code. Paste it. Yeah. So that's it. Now let us try to supply the name here. Plus I'll just put here debug dot py. Yeah. Yeah. So now let's execute this and make sure that it works without any issues. Yes, it works. Yeah. Select operation. Let's say 1, a number 2, 3. So we got 5. Yeah. It is command driven. So that's what default code it got generated, guys. Yeah. So where do you see that? This is like asking for input from the user. See, input is a function, we all know that, right? And choices are 1, 2, 3, or 4. Based on that, let's say we separate 1. So it asks for the input to perform this operation 1, which is add. For that, we can see again input first number, second number. The choice is 1. Control will enter to this particular block where add function would get invoked. This is derived from what we call normal Python default function here. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. Similarly, we can see other operations like we have subtract, multi, division, whatever, depending on the operation. That's fine. We don't care. Now let us try to what you call supply buggy code. Let's say I'll just give input one. Clear, no? I'll copy and paste, yeah, in chat GPT. Or else, yeah, let's copy and paste. Enter. So we have got we inserted code which is buggy. See, it's corrected already. Input one got corrected to what? Input. Yeah. So that's it. Like how this correction would take place automatically. Can you see here? There's a small error in the script. Instead of input one, we need to supply what? Input. There, guys, it's automatically connected. Sorry, corrected. So now corrected code, you can just copy it back to Notepad again. Yeah, paste it. See, now it got replaced already. You can just run it. Yeah. So we got, let's say 2, 3, 2. So we got 1, 3 minus 2, right? Is subtract. So that's it, guys. Now, so we can also, this is syntax error we have given, right? Now we can give what? Functional error. So let us say add, we are just giving only 1 instead of 2, right? Now let us try to copy this code to this ChatGPT and fix the above error. Yeah. Can you see here? Add arguments are 2, but we subtract 1. We can see here what got corrected here. See here, the passing only one argument to this add, but it expects what? 2 arguments. Corrected version we can see here in the script. That's it. Yeah. So that's it, guys, with the 2 arguments. Now if you try to copy and paste, it would work. That's all. It's as simple as that. Yeah. See how easy is this? Yeah. So which means debugging is quite easier, guys. So now let's try to use one, right, which is what add operation, because that's where we inserted a buggy code. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. Like how to perform what you call identifying issues and get it fixed. We are not doing it. We are just asking for the chat GPT to perform that. It is doing it. Yeah. So which means with this we can say that maintenance is quite easier with chat GPT over what manual. So manual, there is a chance to make lots of mistakes because one, we need to identify the cause of failure, which means we need to identify the line of code where there is a problem. And second, we need to identify what is the functional issue or syntax issue or semantics issue or let's say flow wise issue. Whatever issue could be expressed in many ways. Yes or no? So again, we need to think a lot to get the job done. So all such headaches would be overwhelmed by using what? ChatGPT. So we'll get an accurate result, if not 100 percentage, closer to 100 percentage. Clear, guys? So that's it. Like how to take care of what we call debugging with a Python code. Yeah. So with this, we'll come out from this Python. See, lots of things, guys. For example, let's say with a Python, we can perform, let's say, many financial based operations. For example, if you want to automate this stock market operations like a buy and sell with your own strategy, you could also generate a code by using Python and establish connectivity with what? Appropriate exchange. Like in India, let's say NSE or BSE, National Stock Exchange or whatever, right? Bombay Stock Exchange. Once you connect to that particular exchange, then we can start performing what you call buy and sell operations through some broker, because directly we cannot connect, right? So we need to go through with some broker. Yeah. So that's it. Same way with let's, if you want to connect to, let's say, Bitcoin profit, it's one more broker, or cryptocurrency, or some other exchange like Nasdaq or some other, right? We can just connect, and we can also perform this stock market operations from anywhere in the world. It's not that we have to be in the US to perform, to make use of US market. Yeah. So we can use US market or European market or even any other Bitcoin market. Even recent Infosys also launched Bitcoin Profit as a separate broker, where anybody from anywhere in the world, they can perform what you call stock market operations, right? Yes or no? So that also we have it. So to do that, we can make the things automated with any broker to any what you call platform anywhere in the world, right? To perform what you call buy and sell. You know? So yes, I'll try to show one or two or three practical examples where, see, like, how are we going to what you call automate the things in stock market by writing our own code, by using what appropriate trading platform. So we got multiple trading platforms, right? Trading View or many other platforms we have. I'll try to pick up one of the platform and apply one of the strategy and see whether we could able to execute the strategy or not. Why I'm trying to talk about that? Because that is another way to talk to some other application, because talk about some other application, right? Yes or no? From our local environment, we are trying to connect to what third party application with appropriate strategy. So that's another example where we can talk about connecting with third party. Another example, I think one day Ravi was trying to talk, right? I think Salesforce, if I remember correctly. Ravi, correct me if I'm wrong. So which means we can also connect
You're
to
right,
this.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Salesforce
So we can
integration.
also exactly. So from Python or from using ChatGPT, we can generate a code, like a Python code, through which we can talk to what Salesforce by supplying appropriate input parameters. Whatever inputs that are required for Salesforce, right? We can supply and establish connectivity, and that's one of the cloud-based application, right? We talked about standalone applications. One is a database, second is stock market, and second is what cloud-based application, which is, let's say, Salesforce. Likewise, you can think of other cloud-based applications like Amazon. So we can also supply Amazon input like username, password, domain, region, then followed by Amazon S3 bucket name, and then path. Through that also, we can also interface with what Amazon, where we can perform to and fro operations, which means you can write a data to appropriate bucket, or we can also pull the data from the relevant bucket to our local environment. That's the second cloud-based application. Likewise, we can extend this to what other cloud platforms like a GCP, which is a Google Cloud platform, or even any other third-party cloud. That's a cloud-based application. So likewise, you can think of even, let us say, uh, if you take any warehousing tool, right, it is very difficult to perform integration with what third-party portal applications, where in portals, let's say they would have exposed their capabilities in the form of what one service, second what you call REST as a REST API, a third it could be direct invocation. Now the question, as a solution provider, we need to have way to talk to what third party portal application to get the job done based on how they exposed their capabilities. So that also we could do it by using what ChatGPT. We ask for ChatGPT to generate what a code based on your expectation, which, let's say, interact with portal application through, let us say, WSDL, which is web services definition language. That is our input text, because portal guys, they are exposing their functionality through WSDL. In that case, we need to put in right question to this chat GPT. It will generate a code through which we could able to talk to portal application using WSDL. That's it. What we need to supply here, WSDL we need to supply as input to this uh, generated code. Then rest will be taken care by the code. See how easy is that? These are all operations, guys. So these things, to perform these things, right? There are bunch of tools in the market. I would say tens or hundreds of tools in the market. Yes or no? It's like ETL world or quality world or MDM world or cleansing world or what I call even reporting world or analytics world. You can think of many verticals. From each vertical, there are multiple sub tools to perform these operations. But we can just take out all of them and use one single point of interface, which is ChatGPT generated code through which we can talk. Which means what? Tools will be taken out after a while. I'm just expecting by end of 2025 or 2026. I don't think tools will be there. So most of the things will be taken care by using what? These tools. One of them is ChatGPT. There's one more, Gemini. So Gemini, I'll talk about it. Like why Gemini is going to preside over what ChatGPT, because Gemini has got some extra capabilities like imaging stuff with complex imaging also would be taken care. We'll come to that later. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Now the question. Let us say our goal is what? To build a solution for what? Building the data warehouse. Yeah. So to do that, most of the existing tools, they have built it by using what? Java code. Using Java, right? Yes or no? So now the question, if you try to build a ChatGPT code, you know, and which is by using a Python, and you're trying to talk to what? A tool which is built by using what? Java. So, but it will work, but there is going to be extra overhead to convert Python code to what? Java. That's what will be understood by other tools. Now the question, can we avoid doing that particular conversion? Remember, guys, what are the best practice that we all need to follow while building any solution for any software application, right? Let's say data warehousing. Example, we need to avoid conversion as much as we could. And this particular conversion could take place one in the form of what? Code migration like Python to Java or Lua to Java or Smalltalk to Java or C to Java, C++ to Java, whatever. That we need to avoid of doing it. And second, type conversion. For example, integer to string, string to integer, or date to string, whatever. These are conversion issues, right? So it is better to avoid conversion, yeah, so that you will get performance effective results. Yes or no? So how do you do that? So do we have any way to take care of it from ChatGPT? Answer is yes, which means instead of generating a code by using a Python programming language, we can generate a code directly with what? Java. Yeah. So that's what we are going to focus today. See whether we could able to perform basic elementary things by using Java. We'll try to talk about some intermediate to advanced examples. Then we'll try to make use of it to build a solution for data warehouse. So that's what we're going to start now, right? Like some 1 or 2 days, I'll not spend much time for Java. Java is a separate thing altogether. But whatever is required in the context of building warehousing, right? Only those things I'm trying to cover, guys. I'm not getting deep dive to each of these languages, yeah, because that's not our scope, yeah. So let us try to get into ChatGPT, and then we'll start with the basic code. Yeah. So let us say write a sample program, yeah, to print message in console output. Remember, guys, if you want to learn any application from the scratch, we have to start from what? One, standard input, standard output, standard error. These are three streams that we need to focus. Out of them, first thing that we are trying to focus here is what? Standard output, which means produce the result onto the console. right? Enter. Write a sample program using Java. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. See, it is generated code. But in order to execute, compile and execute this particular code, yeah. So, and yeah, we can also say generate commands to execute above code, right? We need spoon feeding stuff, guys. We don't need to think anything. Remember, we just have to ask. Rest will be taken care by AI modeling tools. Example, chatgpt. See, we just have to create a Java code. So let us blindly follow it, assuming that I don't know this language. Yeah? So we just have to copy this and supply the file name over here. Yeah, I'll just close this, paste it. Yeah, and name, what is it saying? Hello world. Remember, guys, we just have to give the same as class name. We don't need to remember even that. Yeah, just blindly follow like whatever it says. Yeah, hello world dot Java. Yeah? So let's follow that. We should not give some other name, guys, because class name should be, or file name should be same as class name. Anyway, that is Java, guys. We don't need to worry. Next is what? Compile. To compile that, we need to use what? Java C. Yeah. So now let us save this. Yeah, that is done. Now we need to see whether we have got Java environment here or not. Let's see whether we have it or not. Yes, there is a Java environment. Yeah. So if you don't have it, we just have to download JDK. Yeah. So remember, guys. So where to get Java? So that's it. It will take care. So see, it's asking to download what? JDK, which is uh, Java development kit, which will be used for developers. Yeah, developers would require what? Utilities to compile. So one of the utilities to compile is what? Java C. Just now we saw, right? So we can just go to Oracle means this link, or Apache means this link, and download. As part of download, we can just down is open source, right? Then supply the path or go to that location and see whether which version that we installed. That's what this command all about. If you could able to see this, if this command works, means what? Your environment is ready to use. It's as simple as that. Yeah. Now the next question. So we have already issued command, right? So where, whatever. So let's say we have Java. Yeah, Java is ready. So in this case, we can also use the same command here, Java version. See here, we have got Java 21 with some update on this particular date. So we got latest version, right? With this build. Yeah, that's it. So once we have it, next step is what? We need to go to that location where we have got this Java files, or we can also compile it from anywhere, because we could able to run Java C, Java commands from anywhere, right? Which means it is in the path. Now the next question, we can supply the path, which is absolute path, and file name, which is hello world, and enter. So now what it does, we don't need to worry. It will just tell us. See what it is going to do. As a result of this particular command, we are going to get to see what? Hello world class. Now let us go to that location, target. See, it is generated already. So one part of it, we have already done it. What it contains, that's not our job. Actually, it would contain the bytecode that will be understood by JVM. That is a what I call matter of this particular class file. But the problem is, we don't, as a newcomer, we don't need to understand like what it does. You know, we just need to understand the usage of it, right? Now the next question is how to make use of it. To get there, we have to make use of Java. We call it as what? Java or JVM or runtime environment, using which we could able to run hello world class. Let us try to run and see whether we are going to get the expected result or not. you know so that's it. So now let us go to this location, hello world. So that's it, guys. We are blindly following it. See, we got some error. What is that? Class not found exception. you know is this class not generated, guys? Could not find a class. Now tell me how to fix this. It is saying class is not there. you know so now we can just ask this question to this particular what chat gpt. Yeah. So can you see here, it typically occurs when JVM cannot locate the main class file. Yeah. It seems you are trying to run the Java program from the directory where the class file is located. However, Java runtime expects fully qualified class name when running the program. So we can fix it. Look at here. So we can fix it by getting into that location and run. See here. Now let's go to that location. So C target, then Java, hello world or whatever, right? See, we got it. See, it's as simple as that, guys. We just have to follow. See here, it is clearly saying, go to that location, CD. That's what we did. Then we issued that command, like whatever it says. So we got it. We got the result, right? Hello world. Because this particular code contains what? A simple text, which is hello world in it. Yeah. So what it does is that out.println, that's a job of Java. It's not our job. Yeah. So Java guys, they need to understand. We don't need to understand this. Yeah. This is starting point, guys. Like how we can set up the environment for Java, like a download, set the class path, see whether Java works or not. Then ask ChatGPT to generate a code, compile that code, run that code by following the instructions of ChatGPT. That's what we did. We got the result. Any questions from anybody, guys, so far? Is it clear? Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So now let us try getting into what next step, which is what? Let us say we perform some computation stuff by using Python, right? Now here also let us see whether we could able to perform similar things by using what Java or not. So that's going to be the question mark. Let us try doing it. Remember, guys, ChatGPT is not good for all the programming languages. Remember that they have built or they have just created GPT, which is pre-trained stuff for fixed programming languages. Even in Java is there, but it doesn't support all the programming languages. Remember that. Yeah. So yeah, now let us. That is why we need to make sure that we could able to perform the activities of what is required to build a data warehouse. Remember that. That's why we are trying to understand the prerequisites. If not, we need to look for what fallback option. Remember that. Yeah. So now let us ask for what? Write Java code to perform what? So I'll just ask general question, mathematical computation. Yeah. like what we asked for Python, right? Let's try to put in the similar questions, and see kind of code that will be generated by ChatGPT. Yeah. See here, guys. See here also we could able to see arithmetic operations like what we have seen in Python, right? Here also we can see that like additive operation, right? Let us try to copy the code. Yeah. So supply what I'll just put here math dot Java. Can you do that? We should give the same name as what? Class name, right? Anyway, we can also ask for it because we already know it, right? So we can supply that. Math computation. This is what name we need to give. Yeah. That's what these people are written, guys. Java guys. File name should be same as what? Last name. Yeah. So that's it. We have done it. Next, we can copy this code and paste it here. Yeah. That's all. Job is done. So we don't need to understand. I'm just trying to talk about it. Main is entry point for any programming language. So adding by supplying hard-coded values. So that's it. Then some result we got it. Similarly, subtraction, multiplication, division. Same thing. We have done it as part of Python, right? So now let us try to perform what? Compilation. Java C math. Enter. Right? It is compiled. How do you say it's compiled? We can say date.class. See? Math computation dot class we can see, right? So this is a class file. For every Java file, there is going to be corresponding class file. Yeah. So in the previous example, we saw dot class, right? So that's it. Now the question, you just have to invoke it. So by using Java, we can just apply math, which is a class name, and run it. That's it. See, we got a sum. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, and quotient. So all we could able to say it. That's it. Now the question, can we extend this particular code where we can supply command line arguments? We can do that. Yeah. Like we have done it in Python, right? So extend the above code with command line arguments, right? Let's see. Yeah. So it's done, right? Can you see, guys, here? Command line arguments, args. This is going to be the key part here. It's checking for what? Whether the user has supplied minimum two arguments or not. Yeah. If not, we are going to get to see usage. Usage means Java class name followed by arguments, two arguments, right? Number one, number two. Now, once you supply, right, then control comes over here. Then it takes two arguments, argv0, args1, then perform appropriate mathematical operations like sum, all that, right? So that's it. Now let us try to copy this code. Yeah. And yeah, let's paste it here only. We're just converting this to what? Earlier hard coded. Now we are trying to get the data from our input from the user in the form of what? Arguments. Yeah. So that's it. So now let us try to compile this, right? Did we save it? We need to save it, right? Save. Yeah. Now we need to recompile. So make sure that we what do you call, we save it, because or else you'll get last executed result. Yeah. So now let's try to run it. Now if we try to run it by using this simple class name, we are going to get what? Usage, like we discussed just now, right? So if the arguments are not equal to 2, then you'll get this message, which is Java class name argument. Same thing we could able to see here, right? Now we just try to follow blindly. Let's say 1 space 2. If you supply 1 also, you'll get error, which is warning message actually, right? And then let's say we supply 2, right? That's it. Now based on this sum 1 plus 2, difference 1 minus 2 minus 1, whatever. That's it, guys. This way we can convert hard coded values to what? Argument driven, yeah, or command driven, yeah. So that's it. Now we can also convert this to what I call uh, file driven, where we can also supply the values instead of supplying this through commands. So now let us try to perform it, yeah. Extend above code, where above code with what with parameters from a file, which is I'll just ask from a flat file. I'll put. It's better to ask specific question, guys. File means which file? Is it CSV or Excel file or XML or JSON? These are all questions, right? We should not give that option to ChatGPT to think and take some wrong decision, or sometimes it could be right decision, right? So that is why it's better to put what specific question if you are sure about what you are doing. So now can you see, guys, it is trying to what read data from a file. See, it is trying to what expect the file name from argument, which is arg0. Now it is trying to read line by line and split and takes what and tokens. Tokens means if the format is right or wrong. Yeah. Once everything is fine, which means you separate file, proper file, all that, then the next step is what we can just follow reading, like token 0, token 1, which is what values. Yeah. So this way we could able to what you call start reading the data from a file. Yeah. So then other things are same, like add whatever, right? Those things we know. Now there's one more extra thing that we can share, what exception handling. If any issue that is encountered within this block of code, which is within the try block, right? Normally in Java, what happens is anonymous code will be kept in the try block, and in case if there any issues in this anonymous code, right, they'll be caught within this what catch block. So here we can see a generic exception, which is IO exception. Yeah. So and we can see which file has got a problem, and we can also see detailed stack trace. From that we can identify the cause of failure. Yeah. So now let us try to copy this code. Yeah. Same file, class name, right? So let's do the same thing. I'll just copy and paste. I've done it. We got the latest code, right? Yeah. So that's it. Now what we need to do? So we need to supply what I call file name. So let us create a sample file, and within that we need to supply the parameters. Yeah? We can see the description in the bottom. Can you see here? This code reads input from a flat file specified as command line argument, file name only. Yeah? Each line in the file is expected to contain two numbers separated by space, white space, which is 1 space 2. That's what it means. And then the program reads each line split into tokens. Token means what? A character or a word, or it could be special. It could be any character or word, guys. Parses the numbers, which means reads the numbers, and performs mathematical computation. It is within the code. Add, subtract, right? Finally, it prints the data into what? Console. That's it. Yeah. So that's what it is doing. Now what we need to do? So we need to create a text file. So let us create one text file. So right click, new text document. Let's say input, right? Open that and supply one space 2. Over. Whatever it says, right? We are blindly following, nothing else. All inputs are done. Now we can start getting into the compilation and execution part. First thing, Java C, math, computation, right? Oh, it is done. So we can see latest date and timestamp when this particular class got generated 901, right? Which is equal to system date and time. That's fine. Next, we need to execute it. So Java math computation. We should not give class name, guys. You'll get this error. So we just have to give what extension should not be given. Yeah, because the JVM understands only class name. Yeah, if you try to enter here, see here usage Java computation file name that we have seen in the code, right? Yes or no? So where is that? You could able to see Java class name followed by file name. Now let us try to supply the file name which is input. See here, system cannot find the file specified. This file is not there because extension should be given which is txt. See, now we took what? Input.txt and from that 1 2 we gave, right? Then based on this number, see here, it got the numbers from a flat file where we could able to see over here. These two lines will be used to read the data from what you call first value from a file and second value from a file token, right? So this will be used to read both the tokens, which is first one 1 and 2, right? If not, if the file is not in properly formatted, right, then you'll get error in a specified file name. That's it. Then after reading these two numbers, right, it performed other calculations, which we all know that. Now let us try to what supply the invalid code and see whether it's going to work or not. For example, ABC. Yeah. Now let us try to run it. See here, guys, invalid input format in file. Same message that we saw, like what we have seen in the code. Yes or no? Invalid input format in the file and with a file in the specified file name. So which means it expects what? With a predefined format, like we have seen in the text, right? Yeah, like one space to whatever, right? That's what it understands. Then control will not enter into this particular if decision making block. Yeah. So now let us try to correct it. Yeah. So save it. That's it. That anyway we have done it. That's a runtime, guys. Any change that you do in a flat file, right? That does not require any recompilation, you know, because it's a runtime value, right? So we can directly run it. See, it's working. So now we can also change the values. That's a 1122, and then re-execute it. See here, we got modified values. This is the effect of, or this is a power of parameterization from a file. So command line means every time we need to run and supply inputs. In file, anybody can modify based on those modified values. We could able to see effect of it in the result. So that's it, guys, about what I call simple Java code. Yeah, like Python thing we did, right? Same thing we have done it by using a Java. Right? Now the question, let us say, so we need to perform what I call file-based operations, which means read the data from a file and get it displayed on the console. Why we are trying to talk about it? For example, in data warehousing, let's say we got ETL tool, right? Where E is what extract. What extract should do? We need to read the data from a file. Yes or no? To do that, can we perform it by using what Java code or not? Because we need to make sure that prerequisites are met. Remember, yeah. So we'll do that, the specific to warehousing operations on tomorrow's session. Yeah. So till now, if you have any questions, you guys can shoot out, guys. Yeah. Fine. If there are no questions, we'll stop here. We'll continue payment tomorrow. Yeah. So can we have session tomorrow, guys, or we'll take a break? Sridhar and others.
Mm, Not tomorrow.
Okay. Fine.
Mm,
We'll continue on Monday morning at 8 a.m. IST. Fine.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Same time,
Thanks to
yes.
all. Yeah. And bye.